Welcome to the Supercheap Auto Do-It-Yourself tip for replacing brake fluid. Remove the brake fluid reservoir cap and set the DVOM or multimeter to read voltage on the lowest voltage range of the meter. Place one of the multimeter probes into the brake fluid and the other against the body of the master cylinder. The voltage should be no greater than 0.3 volts. If the voltage is higher, this indicates a galvanic reaction and means that there's an unacceptable level of moisture in the brake fluid. Use an old hydrometer or similar device to suck out the contaminated fluid from the master cylinder reservoir. Place the discarded brake fluid into a container that can be disposed of in an environmentally friendly manner. Top up the master cylinder reservoir with clean fluid until it reaches the full line. Close the brake fluid container as quickly as possible to prevent contamination and evaporation of the fluid. Open the bleeder screw that is farthest from the master cylinder and ask an assistant to slowly push the brake pedal down. With a clear bleeder hose inserted into a jar, you can observe the air bubbles coming out. Close the bleeder screw off and have your assistant slowly release the pedal. Continue this process until there are no more bubbles coming out of the brake station and the new brake fluid is present. Close off the bleeder screw and tighten it to the manufacturer's specifications. Repeat this process for each of the other brake stations, moving closer to the master cylinder. Check carefully to make sure each of the brake stations have no leaks and that the bleeder screws are closed correctly. A simple way of doing this is to ask the assistant in the vehicle to place their foot on the brake pedal as if they were applying the brakes when driving the vehicle normally. Now you can check all of the bleed points and hose connections for leaks while the assistant is maintaining pressure on the system, and thus any fluid that could be leaking as a result of a loose joint in the components. After you're satisfied that all is correct, lower the vehicle. Carry out a final check for any leaks around the master cylinder or brake stations. Replace the master cylinder cover and check to see that it's fully seated. Dilute any brake fluid that may have spilt with fresh, clean water. Now it's time to double check the brake system pressure, fluid levels and visual signs of leaks. The final test means taking the vehicle for a drive to ensure the integrity of the braking system. Now you know a bit more about how to do it yourself thanks to Supercheap Auto. And remember, you're pretty sure to find everything you need for the job at your local Supercheap Auto store.